Hey, are you ready? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. Yeah. Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. One man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. I am your host, Michael Agbajan. And welcome to the 27th episode, 27, big 27. Super happy as I'm always. Thank you for joining me. All my new listeners, thank you for joining me. All my old listeners, sorry for leaving. Bye-bye. I'm so glad we're here together. You know, we do this every week. And right before I started recording this, I got a major call. I got a call from who? Wingstop Corporate. Wingstop says, hey, we need y'all. So we starting out with Wingstop this upcoming Monday. And by we, I'm talking about the Waterboys. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Put some respect on my name right now. Put some respect on my name. She was like, hey, we need y'all. Lock us in. How can we partner? When can we start? I said this Monday, let's go. And next sound I heard was, you know what that is? That's our money counter. And this is good. This is great news. You know, we first took care of the HR manager, and then she, let everyone know. She's like, hey, we need these guys at our new corporate offices. And I bet a lot of y'all didn't even know that Wingstop started in Dallas, Texas. Wingstop started in Garland, and now they have over 14,000 locations. And they said, hey, we need y'all to make our employees happy. And I said, more than welcome. Let's go. I had earlier this week too, I had to hire. Well, I haven't hired someone yet, but I haven't put the advertisement, but I did get a call. This guy called randomly and he said, hey, I remember y'all put an ad out a long time ago on Indeed, and I want to see if y'all still hiring. I was like, yeah, we're still hiring. He's like, man, how much y'all pay? That's the first question he asked. And immediately I heard an L. I was like, all right, it's about to be a wasted conversation. But he's like, how much y'all pay? And I was like, all right, we pay, this amount. And he's like, all right, hey, I want that. Like, what could I do? I'll do whatever it takes, man. Cause I was working at these other car washes and they weren't taking care of me, man. They was like, I'm like, man, are y'all playing with my money? Y'all playing with my money? I was asking him, I was like, man, how I'm doing all this work. I asked him for a raise, didn't he? I was like, hey, calm down. Let's first figure out, where did you work before? And he said, I worked this place 6 months. I worked at another place 3 months. I worked at another place 2 months. I'm like, so you never wanted to stay at these places longer than years? Like, they just kept playing with my money. I was like, okay, if that was the case, why'd you start with them? Well, yeah, it's true. I should have probably asked more questions. I was like, yeah, you got to make sure you understand how you start with them first. Cause it's not like it came as a surprise. You got to ask questions. He's like, yeah, that's true. But I do have my college ID. And I was wondering that if I could use that. And I was like, use that for what? Like for the interview. I was like, well, we haven't set up an interview yet, but you don't have a license? He's like, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got a license, man. And this guy sounds straight South Oak Cliff, right? So I'm hearing this and I ain't got a license, man. I was like, all right, well, it's okay. That's what's required because you got to move cars and have even your car. It's a liability. He's like, hey, let me be honest, man. We from Congo, and I'm not like really a full citizen yet. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. Okay. And, I'm a refugee, and I came when I was 3 years old, and my parents came, and we came from Congo, man. I was like, man, I'm Nigerian, and he was like, what? Man, I didn't know they had white people in Nigeria. I was like, nigga, I'm black. What you talking about? I'm black. Talking about, I didn't know they had white people in Nigeria. Bro, I'm black. Oh, man, I definitely got to work for y'all now. I definitely got to work for y'all. What I got to do? Let's set up an interview. So I was like, well, send me your email. Send me all that. We'll talk. We said, yeah, but so I was like, are you legal? He's like, yeah, I'm legal. It's just that, I'm naturalized because my parents, when they got here, kind of going through this whole breakdown. And I was like, well, I'll give you a call and we'll see. I haven't called him yet. I'm not sure. When the first thing they ask for is how much you pay. And then you start following up with like, I got bills, I got to pay for this and I got to do that. And look, that ain't my business. That ain't none of my business. You know, like I can pay you the way I pay you. But when you start telling me, you know, it got to be this way or that way and got to be like this, I already know you about to be a headache. That's even with customers. If a customer called and started off, you know, all loud, and I'm like, look, this is going to be a terrible experience. I ain't trying to even start like this. How you start? I ain't trying to finish with you. That's what I got to say. Same thing happened at the barber school. Cause you know, at first we did have someone test positive, but they weren't with us for a week. So now it's been a full 2 weeks. So we had everything cleaned down, sanitized on interior, you know, and you know, we gave an update to the students. And there's one particular student who was like, hey, why you send us an update? Why can't y'all make up your mind? Look how smart that is. Smart mouth, you know, about, you know, like, do y'all really care about this? First off, that's what an update is. You can send as many updates as you like. That's what an update is. If you get when you say, why y'all sending updates? Because that's what an update is. We're updating you on the fact that things have changed and there's updates to what you knew before. You know, and when people with smart mouths like that, man, you just got to come back at them. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, like, I thought you had a college degree. You don't know what an update is? Oh, you know, and then it gets become a little bit issue. But yeah, that we're back open at the school. Everything's all good. We growing. I'm still super hype. Got a lot of energy coming from that whole Wingstop deal. Let's go. It's gonna be a good year. And yeah, it's great. You know, there's this whole COVID-19, but you know, right now what's happening out there is that some of these Karens and some of these Kens are being emboldened. You know, and I can imagine trying to like if my name was Karen at a time like now, you know what I mean, or Ken. I don't even think it matters if it's Ken, but if my name was Karen, like that has to be hard right now because I know everyone's hitting you up like, hey, you see what's going on in the news? Some Karens probably taking it personally. Some Karens probably don't even care at all, you know. But you know, one particular Karen, like how emboldened she's getting. She pulled a gun on this mother and like her in front of her daughters, you know, in a parking lot because of a little small misunderstanding, a little dispute, you know, and. You know, like she said, get back, pointing the gun, like right there, right, like less than like 2 feet away, screaming. And it's like, man, if you're feeling threatened like that in a non-threatening situation and you're pulling a gun on somebody, you better be prepared to use it. But that particular Karen and her husband, Ken, got charged with assault. That 100% got charged with assault. And then another Karen and her husband Ken, a woman, so a Black Lives Matter activist got a permit to put Black Lives Matter a mural in front of the Trump Tower, and then she came over there with her husband. The Karen came over there with her husband, and he's filming everybody, and she has her doing all the painting, all the domestic work or whatever of painting over the mural, and they didn't know that there was a permit out for that, so. They got charged too. They got charged with vandalism and graffiti, and they got hit with a hate crime. You know, and you know that's what's happening out there. These Karens are being emboldened, but one of them had time. One woman who met her match had time. This was at a convenience store, and I'm not sure y'all probably saw the video where she's like, "Call me nigger one more time." This is the black woman in kitchen line. Call me nigger one more time. Say nigger one more time. And then she, you know, the woman was like, nigger. And she's like, hold on. Did you order a 2-piece? Bow, bow, bow. Hit him. Bow, bow. 2-piece spicy. You know, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? You know, do you want original or crispy? Bow, bow. Knocked that woman out. And she walked out and left. You know, I was like, see? Don't mess with the wrong one. Might get that 2-piece. Bow. Man, that's crazy. You know, I know I'm talking about all this stuff. You know, I was going to talk about some other things, but I've been distracted by the fact that Kanye is running for president. And then he's running for president under their birthday party. And he said, because when I win, it's going to be like everyone's birthday. That's crazy. But they could have called it other parties. Like coming out party. That would have been interesting. Even graduation party. I kind of would have went with like his albums. Like, hey, this is a graduation party. I would have. I'm not sure if I would join that one. Pool party. I'm not sure if I'll join that one either. Block party. If he called it, rather than calling it birthday party, if he had called it block party, I don't know. I would have been like, blah. Kanye's running for president? And she would have been like, oh, he's running for president for real? I was like, yeah. Guess what? Under the block party. The block party? I was like, yeah, he wants us to join the block party. He's like, I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of clever. I ain't gonna lie. I like that. Block party. Yeah, I like the block party. But yeah, toga party. Yeah, that would, or after party, housewarming party. Yeah, he could have chose a lot of ones. I wonder why he chose birthday party. And then he said he's gonna do the Wakanda strategy. This guy, and there's so many things about this. Late registration for him is a whole nother meaning, because the fact that like he can't even qualify in 6 states so far, and he hasn't filed necessary filings for him to even become president, and he's about to drop an album. So I feel like this is all like a ploy, just to get attention. Now, people are having like little theories of thinking that he's just gonna come out running independent, because he wants to split the black vote. So either Trump would win, I doubt he's gonna win, but it's interesting because if anybody could get young people to vote, it would be Kanye. But I wonder how many people out there cancel Kanye. It makes you think, because it's gonna be interesting if he really is running, which people don't know if he's serious, because he got Elon Musk. Elon Musk said, you got my full support, and then you got Kim Kardashian, who might be imagine Kim Kardashian or the Kardashians in the White House. That whole thing's going to change. America is crazy. How do we look? I wonder how people outside of America look at America. They're like, what's going on over there? Like celebrities, like you don't have to have no type of expertise when it comes to being president here. A lot of it is about, are you popular? And that's what it is. One big popular contest. Like if you're popular, people will get you. And that's kind of like what's happening with the whole people coming in for president. Because The Rock said he wants to run for president. I could imagine him too, thinking, all these people like me. I'm one of the highest paid movie stars out there. Hey, vote for me. So it's interesting, to see that. I know my wife is getting home. I can actually hear coming through the garage, coming in right now, because there is something I want to share even more of, on more of a serious matter of what's happening. America, that's why I say, how's everyone looking at America right now? Because America just left the WHO, which is WHO, which is the World Health Organization. And the World Health Organization is the global organization of all like the countries, the top countries and leading countries to come together to face some of these global health issues. And usually before you leave the World Health Organization, you're supposed to give them a year in advance notice to say, hey, we're about to leave. You give them a year in advance. We just left, and we left with like 200 million in debt with them. We owe them 200 million. So we just kind of like pieced out on them. And it's like super shameful because, especially during this whole COVID-19 situation that's happening, we're leaving the World Health Organization, and we're like their biggest contributor. We put like $427 million in their pocket every year, and now that they're missing that, that's going to be a whole nother, situation, because they're the ones who are helping with the antibiotics, making sure that those aren't resistant to us. They're the ones who eradicated polio, all through the world, like it's just shocking to see that we're now leaving that organization high and dry, especially in the middle of this COVID-19. It kind of lets you know, you're in this solo. I told you about that before when Trump is going to leave this all to the states for y'all to figure out, for your citizens, like, hey, even to the point where now they're talking about like, we need to calm down the testing in America, to calm down the COVID testing, because they're saying that's why our numbers are so high because we have too much testing. What? How does that even make sense? Like they're already taking away funding from some of these grants that they're giving for like testing centers, because they're saying, wow, the only reason why we're leading is because we have all these tests, as if like tests are really the issue, and it kind of reminds me of like, if it's hot in Texas, it's super hot, but imagine if they said it's boiling hot in Texas, but if you don't use a thermometer or you don't take the temperature, then it won't be hot anymore. That's not like, this is just so embarrassing. But, they said we're going to rejoin later on the World Health Organization. It's hard for me to say it, World Health Organization. But, that'll be definitely later on when that happens. But, yeah, even right now, they're even having it where the administration is giving employers like immunity to where they can't get sued or can't have any liability towards their customers or their employees getting sick from COVID-19. So they're passing legislation now that gives them immunity where no one will be able to sue their employer. But see, there's a moral hazard there, because the moral hazard is that if you whether it be a factory or office or whatever, if you enforce your employees to come back to work in the circumstance where they aren't fully protected next to other people in a certain way, and they get it and they, pass it to somebody and they pass, or even themselves if they die, and you're not able to do anything like that, or not being able to do anything to your employer, that's going to make it to where employers could kind of be negligent, and that's the unfortunate part, is that there will be a slippery slope on this, because you can now put people in situations where you don't have to protect them. And if something happens to them, you don't have any repercussions. And that to me is where it's like, you see again another situation of abuse of power, where you have power over people, you have power over their income, you have power over their work schedule, and you have power over their position in general, and you could put them in places where they might not feel comfortable, and you get no repercussions because of it. That's sad, That's why I'm leaving it up to the mark that the administration or the White House or Republicans, I don't know how you want to describe it, but it's a campaign of wishful thinking now. It's all about wishful thinking. Like all this stuff will suddenly go away if we ignore it and don't address it. I remember whenever I would have like an issue or something's really, really tragic, like it happens all the time where, doing business, you're going to have a lot of tragedies. And the first thing you want to do is, you know what? Let me go ahead and take a nap, because I can't solve this. It's too much. Let me go ahead and take a nap. And then when you wake up, guess what? Ain't nothing changed. That's what this is. Like the administration just taking a nap, and it affects everybody. It affects everybody. If you are doing business, or if you're trying to get back to, your old life, these things are going to delay it. So these little actions do have repercussions, and in the long term. So, man, it's just wild. It's a wild, wild west right now. I thought it was a wild, wild west before COVID-19, because the ability to do business in this administration is so easy. That's one thing that is very easy in the Trump campaign, in the Trump administration, that you could do business and do it well, and no one will mess with you. And so it's the easiest entry to get into business now. But now what you see what's happening with the whole COVID-19 now, you're really on your own. So, more power to anybody who's taking care of themselves, taking care of those around them, and trying to be responsible, because there's a lot of irresponsibility happening at the top. And it's kind of wild, but I must commend Netflix for taking that responsible move, and they put $100 million in black banks, and that $100 million is going to help fund small businesses and work with the communities, and that's great, because they're also pledging like $160 million, towards black scholarships as well. So I just want to give a big shout out to Netflix for leading the pack, and I hope other companies see what they're doing and take notice to what's happening out there, to kind of build the equity of I guess disenfranchised communities. So I just want to give a big shout out to them. And then also, if you're interested in like how companies move and how the stock gets increased and all that, I'm gonna put you on a little game real quick, a little free game. As you probably already know, Walmart, or you might not even know, Walmart is transforming 97 of their parking lots, their large parking lots, into like drive-in theaters. See, when you already see that that's about to come, that they're making changes, those are the times where you're like, let me invest before that happens. If you invested in Tesla before you knew that of the goals he was trying to meet, then you win. Because right now Tesla's like at $1,400 a share, and like 3 weeks ago, it was like at 800. So almost doubled because of these goals that he met. But Walmart, they're pivoting, doing different things, innovating, and the way that they're innovating is creating these. They have these huge parking lots, and now they want to make them drive-in theaters. And I wonder how that's going to go, because at night their parking lots are kind of packed. They have 18-wheelers that are parking out there. There's homeless people out there. There's people who just sleep in their car because it's a nice, well-lit place or whatever. And there's a lot of like movement. So I wonder how that's going to go. Maybe they might reserve it. And I wonder how they're going to that might make it to where you could, if you got 97 new theaters that are now not like indoors, that's a new opportunity. I actually want to see how that goes. Let's go. Yeah, that's going to be pretty wild. But I also have to say something about some of these people out here who are messing up the ecosystem, and if you know what I mean by messing up the ecosystem, is that, all right, an ecosystem is the diversity of like organisms, right? And how they communicate and how they move and how all that. So in our ecosystem, the human ecosystem, you got some people out there who playing games. And by that, I'm saying people are getting some of this PPP funding. That's money from the government, and using it towards things that, little drip, little this, like cars. I told y'all a few episodes ago about somebody who used like more than $1 million on like jewelry and cars and Rolls Royces, and they got hit by the feds. But then there's some people now who are doing the same thing, a lot of flexing, but they're not. That's what the finesse is. You don't know behind the scenes. I know some people personally, and some people that, if people knew how they're at their level, because some people don't know that, their parents are, paying for everything. Some people don't know that, or some people might be at their, living at their parents' place and able to finesse that. There's one person who's messing up the ecosystem by traveling the world, showing all these people where he's at and going here solo, traveling the world, until one day you go into a plane and we see him as a flight attendant. Come on now. And you're like, I didn't know you was a flight attendant. Now he's like, hey, keep it on the hush. But you show this lavish lifestyle of you being able to travel the world, live a beautiful life. And people are like, man, how do you do it? And you're like, hey, I'm a business person. That's how it goes. The whole hush puppy situation where he finessed all these banks and all these law firms. I mean, he got one law firm for like $900,000. They were trying to transfer that for some housing deal. And then he directed the emails to where they didn't know that it was like a phishing email for them to send it to another bank account instead, and they wired 900,000 to the wrong account, and boom, by the time they found that out, it was already gone. But then you got people like Hush Puppy and other people, low level finessers, who show you this life and say, like, hey, I'm just trying to provide motivation, inspiration to y'all. And you say, man, like, I need to do business because look at that person. Look how that person's living. I need to do business. And then you try to start it and you try to do it on their level and you just can't get there and you get discouraged and frustrated. But you got to understand that ain't real. That ain't real. So people fail to discount for exaggeration. You know, people take things sometimes as face value. They see it and they believe it. But you have to discount for the exaggeration, the sales and the convincing and the persuading of whatever it is that they got to show you. So if you discount for the exaggeration, you don't have to work for that. You know, I don't take a lot of people's word for nothing. It's more about, do your words match your actions? That's where you got to look at it. Like, do your words match your actions? Because you see a lot where people, you know, bringing in multiple cars and, you know, huge homes and then you don't see the work to match, you know, and then you like, and some people look at it as inspiration, some people look at it as motivation. I don't. And I suggest for anybody who does to focus on themselves. You're distracted. You're distracted with the sizzle, not the steak. That's kind of like, I'm not sure if you ever heard that before, the sizzle, not the steak. But this is incredible. I feel good today. I hope you feel great. More power to everybody who's been listening, because there's a lot of things going on in this world, and I hope you take advantage to the opportunities that are here. There was a retreat that was happening yesterday. These young cats, and I'm looking forward to what's happening with these young entrepreneurs. They called me in, they gave me an interview, and it was a millennial growth retreat, and they're bringing all these millennials and Gen Z, and they're like, they wanted me to talk to them and see about how, like, what do I see coming, and what's next for entrepreneurs, and what would I have told myself when I was younger. And it was just great. You know, there's a lot of little small delays here and there, but again, there's no such thing as wasted time. So in my opinion, there's still things to learn from that. But, you know, this was actually yesterday when I went to this retreat where they invited me to, and you know, they said, what do you see in the climate for these young entrepreneurs happening in the future? And I'm like, I see it big and bright. Anybody out here right now who's trying to get it, whether on an entrepreneur or whether you're trying to, you know, do something creative, whatever, this is the best time ever. Just because if now more than ever, there's an obvious demand for change in a lot of things. And where there's a lot of demand, you know, you got to supply it. And that's why you got to get creative. And then, you know, with that, just understand, if you do start something, the main thing, you cannot win if you aren't consistent. You know, that is like number one. You got to be consistent. That's the only way you win. And you know, I see that in the next few years, there's going to be a lot of interesting wins, and there will be a lot of interesting losses, because the way that you look at this COVID-19 situation and what's changing, you can be distracted with what you see in the news, or you could be distracted with people's opinions and conspiracy theories. All that's fun, but you got to look within and figure out what you need to do within, so therefore you could change everything that's around you. You know, so a lot of it is about your perspective, about how you see this. If you don't see this as a silver lining, you know, as an opportunity, you know, in disguise, then you're sleeping. You need to wake up, because there's a lot of things that are in demand. People are in demand of new technology. People are in demand of new services, more convenience. You know, everything's just shifting, and take advantage of that. You know, everybody, all artists, you know, it's a different level of music, different level of how you distribute your art and put it out there. But now's the time. And I want to challenge everyone out there to use this time to find introspection, go in deep, and and see what comes out, you know. So this again is first segment, and you're about to join, you know, me, myself, and Bly on the next segment. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be juicy. I'll see y'all later. Appreciate y'all.
What up?
Waiting for me to say something?
No.
I was a little test and you passed.
Oh, cool.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Always ask that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel good.
Good.
A little tight. Today's been a tight day for me.
Why? Why so tight?
It's just like too many things are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know we're trying to like crunch this in before we get the boys and do all that. So it's one of those tighter days.
Yeah.
How are you doing though?
I'm good. I feel like my morning was a little tight too.
For real?
Yeah, because I usually, my body wakes up at 6:30 every morning. But for some reason last night, something told me, set your alarm. And I set it for 7:15 because the boys had a dentist appointment this morning that I did not want to forget about. And my alarm woke me up.
At what time?
At 7:15.
So since that moment, you weren't able to...
Well, I was like ripping and running, feels like, and then the boys' daycare opened back up too, so I couldn't wait for that to drop them off at noon.
So you felt like you were rushing everything?
Yeah, this morning I felt like it was kind of rushing.
Man, is there like it's like an energy in the air or something?
Maybe, but you know, we feed off each other's energy, so if you're tight, then I'm tight.
Man,
we both tight. That's just kind of how it is.
It's like you sync up like women's periods.
You on your period?
It's the 15th?
It's the 15th.
Is it the 15th? Because that's usually when it goes down.
I can't stand you.
Yeah. So how's it been? You know, today's your off day.
Yeah, I'm off today.
Did you spend it the way that you like?
No.
What would you like to have done?
I don't know, but definitely not run errands. Well, first of all, I had a lot of errands to do, and I didn't even do any of them. Something as simple as dropping off my clothes to the dry cleaners. I didn't feel like doing that.
Man.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing nothing.
But everyone needs those days where you just do nothing and chill.
I know, but you know, sometimes I feel guilty. Most of the times I feel guilty when I take those days, which is very rare.
But you kind of should feel guilty because 2 weeks from quarantine, you should be all rested up.
I know that's true. That is true. But today I don't know. Maybe it's the weather because it was raining. Mm-hmm. You know, you feel a little lazy when it rains.
Man.
So maybe that's what it was.
The rain for myself, you know how it like depresses me a little bit because, and by depressed, I'm not talking about like depression. I'm talking about it kind of like puts a certain amount of pressure on me because that's when our business completely like shuts down pretty much, and everyone's rescheduling. People are canceling. So
you got the rain checks.
Yeah, rain checks. So we're doing like free services in essence.
Right.
So it's a lot of that, and I try to always keep it positive.
Yeah.
But I'm always like,
every time that phone rings, it's like, damn.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, I had an appointment today. Can I cancel? I was like, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to reschedule? It's like, nah, I don't know when it's gonna stop raining. And my schedule, you know how that goes. I'm like,
my God. But you know, it was weird because this morning when I checked the weather, it said it was gonna rain all day today.
Yeah.
Like 60%, 70%. And it only rained this morning. It stopped raining like around 9:30, and then it hasn't rained since then.
But you know, I think it is. When it's a percentage of rain. This is my experience being the weatherman.
Okay.
And when it's 80%.
You went to college for this?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like, okay, for the first like 10 years of the business. Again, it's 13 years. The first 10 years, I'm constantly checking the weather.
Yeah.
So I feel like I knew the weather, like I knew how it operated with like the area and all that. And what it was is that when it's anything below 30%, it's not going to be anything.
Oh,
and it's weird because the percentage of whatever it is the percentage our business drops. So if it's like 30%, our business drops about 30%.
That's weird.
Yeah, if it's like 80%, you have a few, maybe one or two who keep their appointments. But it's 50%, it's literally like 50-50. So I knew that a long time ago. But what I was saying is if it's like 80%, a lot of times it rains in a certain area for that morning, but then it circulates around. Right. So it'll be here in the morning, then it'll be in Dallas, you know, like or downtown, you know, like a little bit mid-morning, and after that it'll be in Denton. Yeah. After that it goes to
starts to travel.
Yeah, it starts to kind of move around. And then yeah, so that's what I know. It's not going to be all day, because when it is all day, that is kind of the best. Yeah. Because you have an excuse to like stay in, you know.
Well, not our customers. When it rains, it is busy in the store.
Wow.
So it's like I love being off when it rains because I get to just like chill and be lazy. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I'm missing out on so much money because it's so busy. Because you know, when it rains, people want to go out, but they're like it's raining, there's nothing to do, let's just go to the mall. And they come to the mall and they just spend money.
For real? So the behavior is when it's raining, and I'm talking about like
when it's pouring,
yeah,
and people want to get out, they go to the mall.
What?
And I remember that growing up too as a kid, like when it would rain, and my mom, she likes to, she likes to be out and about. And so when it would rain, she hated being at home. She was like, let's just go to the mall and walk around. And we did. And we'll, buy things here and there. But yeah, like when it rained, we would go shopping. So
I would have thought that would have been a summer thing, when people don't want to pay for AC.
Oh, Lord. Turn the AC off and just go to the mall.
Yeah, go to the mall. It's funny because that would be like the rumor that, it's a hot day. So a lot of people will be in the mall
that's so funny.
to save on the AC.
I never heard that, but I mean, I could see that.
I think it's just a rumor to just put on people who are cheap or something like that.
I think so. Because I thought if you turn your AC on and off, your bill will be higher. Because your AC would have to work twice as hard to cool down a very hot house. So wouldn't it make your bill more expensive?
I really don't know how that works.
Me either.
Yeah, because they say leave it on. Remember, we haven't turned off our.
We don't turn it off.
Well, only when we do the podcast.
Yeah.
But other than that, we keep it on.
Right. Yeah.
But I use that same type of thing with the pool pump. I keep it on constantly when they say, turn it on 8 hours, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off.
But see, okay, so I agree with that because there was one time that we had it off for a really long time and our bill was low. And I even said that to you. I was like, we must not have the pump running in the pool because our bill was kind of low this month.
Yeah, but
But that pool was hella green.
Yeah, I was to say the pool.
We had ducks swimming in it and everything.
That pool took a hit though.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so okay.
It's glistening now.
Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, so when it's like heavy rain, people shopping like crazy.
Yeah.
And is it like all the stores? Is it like everybody in the mall, or is it just like Gucci?
No, it's the mall. Yeah, everybody's just in the mall.
Do you shop when it rains?
No, I like to stay home. I like to be at home.
I mean, like online shop.
I online shop every day, all day. What you talking about? Like,
is that? Do you shop for sport?
I think so. I think it's beyond a hobby now. I think it's like a sport. I think
look for better deals here.
Oh yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that a lot. I'm always comparing prices, but I'm always like browsing every single day. I don't know what it is. I may be addicted.
Some people shop so much. Tell me if this is you. That they forget like what they purchased.
No, that's not me.
Okay.
I don't buy a lot. And I only buy it if it's a good deal. Like I'm a 50% off type of person. So if I'm buying clothes, it has to be 50% off.
So that deal got to be sugarcane sweet.
Yeah, it got to be sugarcane sweet. And then if they got that additional 10 or 20% off, oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's me. That's me.
That's funny. So, I could see you like in the future trying to take care of your closets like a hoarder. You seen those shows, Hoarders?
Yeah. No, that's not me.
Have you seen it where those people are like addicted to shopping?
Yeah.
And they have piles, I want to say piles of like jeans and this, but they don't want to throw it away because it's like, I might wear it.
See, that's not me. I usually give my stuff to my sister. We're about the same size now, so I just give it to her. But I mean, everything in my closet, I've already worn or I plan on wearing it. So it's nothing that I don't know what's in it because I have a lot of clothes, but it's not like to the point where stuff gets lost or, I didn't even know I had that. Except the leather jacket, the one time you kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
What did I do?
You remember we went to All Saints. Okay, so All Saints is one of my, like.
Oh, in Austin?
Yeah, I love that store. And they had a leather jacket that I wanted to get. And I just kept saying, I don't have a leather jacket. I want one. I need one. And you were like, well, just go ahead and get it. But the price, it wasn't sugarcane sweet. It was on sale, but it wasn't like, if y'all know the prices, they're expensive.
Yeah.
The jacket was like $300. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. I don't know if I really need it. And it was September, so I didn't need a leather jacket. And then I come home and maybe like a month later, I happened to find a leather jacket in my closet. And when I wore it, you were like, hold up. So you do have a leather jacket. I'm like, what are you talking about? You was like, that entire time we were in the store, you said you didn't have a leather jacket. And look, all of a sudden you do. And I'm like, honestly, I forgot that I even had one. So that might have been the only time I actually forgot I had something.
That's interesting.
I know.
Well, that happened to me once with the shoes.
Which shoes?
It sounds like bragging now.
The Gucci shoes?
Yeah,
no,
the black ones.
But I forgot you had them too.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I was like, and that was like an essential part of like my wardrobe to get that black on black.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know what happened. There's some outfit or something like that.
Maybe,
and I was looking for it. And then, I saw it and I'm like, I completely forgot about this one.
Yeah, because it's our closet. We keep all of our shoes in our boxes. We need to be able to like display it to see what we actually have.
Yeah, it needs to be clear.
Yeah, like those clear little containers and stuff. Yeah,
I gotta be able to see it, you know, because I see it in something like home. We need the whole thing changed.
Yeah, we just need to flip.
Yeah,
flip.
You know, okay. I saw. You know, I'll show you later. It's on TikTok actually. They renovated their kitchen. You know, this girl said, hey, my parents are out for the weekend, so I'm gonna surprise them and like renovate their kitchen. You know, so she has all these like DIY ways of like, you know, doing like the countertop, the sink, and you know, all that.
Yeah.
And it made me think that like at the end of the day, we could probably do this on our own.
We can. We could do a lot of this on our own. I've even seen videos of people painting their exterior of the home.
Yeah.
We can do it ourselves, you know, but who got the time and the patience?
I'm about to say I thought we had the time. You don't have the time?
And the patience.
You don't want to do that.
And the patience. No, I mean I can, you know.
Tell me what's your hang up on it?
See, for me, I would have to take like a week off. I would have to take like a vacation for us to do it. I don't feel like we could do a lot of stuff on the weekend. I mean, we can't. We probably, you know what? I don't know. I'm making excuses.
Even bigger. When she started the project, she was like, in order to do it, like, because their house is kind of like old school.
Okay.
And like when I see these renovations, I saved it just so you could see it. Like they're amazing, super modern. But she got most of the old stuff. Did a garage sale. Yeah, to sell it.
Yeah.
And then they did that to bring in some of the cash. And then that's when they started doing all these different type of like renos and things like that in the kitchen. And like they're doing stuff in the living room. And they're trying to do it over like a 3-day period.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you could put your mind to it, you could do it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you and I painted this house. Not all of it, but most of it we did.
Yeah, some spots I could tell we really.
Yeah, you could tell we did it, but it's okay. We did it though. And we did it, you know, it's crazy because I was pregnant with the second one. And I remember painting like our hallways, and we had Idol in the crib. You remember? And we would scoot the crib around the house, you know, with us, so we won't leave him in the room by himself. So yeah, I mean, we could do it for sure. I mean, if I could put wallpaper up in their bedroom pregnant, and I think I only had like a few weeks left, then we could definitely. I'm just making excuses.
Yeah, we got to put the effort in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So we shouldn't look for anybody to.
No, we can't. I mean, we could do it.
And look at you.
Look, I'm like, oh Lord.
I think it's better to probably get a professional to do it.
Yeah, especially the outside. You know, I feel like let's leave that to the professionals, and the inside we could do, because we've done a really good job with our house.
You see how we put that mailbox over? I think we could do anything.
Y'all need to see this mailbox, like for real. Yeah, the mailman came by, and this our normal mailman, because the past few days it hasn't been. And I saw him, and he waved, and I waved. I was like, look at our mailbox. I know you're proud of us.
Yeah, I bet he is. Don't even notice.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, so it's gonna rain tomorrow, but you work tomorrow.
I do. I'm not off till Thursday. Yeah, and we have a surprise for the boys on Thursday.
What's the surprise?
We're taking them to that drive-through dinosaur theme park or whatever.
I saw it advertised on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it recently.
See, they be listening to our conversations.
Like, give me the breakdown on it.
So it's just basically, I think it's gonna be at Fair Park. And you pay, I think it's like $50 per vehicle, so it doesn't matter how many people you jam in your car, and then you just drive through, and it's like I think it's 45 minutes to an hour long. Yeah, no, we booked it from 6 to 8, so it's about 2 hours long, and you just drive through and you see all the dinosaurs, and you know you can't get out your vehicle. I think it's just a drive-through park, kind of like the little safari fossil rim. Park, but for dinosaurs.
So this not something we've done before.
No, we've never done. We've been to Dinosaur World.
Yeah,
that was actually like you get out. You know, it's like a zoo, but for dinosaurs. Yeah, we did that. But this is actually like a drive-through thing.
Wow, people getting really creative with the.
I know.
I wonder if they're gonna have like the dinosaurs like come into the like car.
Yeah, they're gonna be close. They're gonna be real close.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're gonna be real close. So I think the boys will love it. I keep telling them they have a surprise on Thursday. So every day they're like, "Mama, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday?" They're trying to figure out like when's Thursday. You know.
They ask me like, "Daddy, what's the surprise on Thursday?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I have no idea what you're talking about.
Daddy has no clue. As usual, I'll tell you the day I'm like, "Hey, get dressed. We're about to go."
Man, but you know, I guess it is people getting creative because the whole, you know, COVID-19 situation. But you know, people I'm not sure if people throw you these conspiracy theories, but people all around me keep popping up with new conspiracy theories.
Oh, what's the newest one? What's the latest?
The newest is that basically this is their final way of trying to take control over the nation. And if you break
World
it down,
domination.
If you break it down a little bit, it kind of makes you, you know what I mean?
All conspiracies make
All of
you
them,
think.
all of them.
You got that one eyebrow, like, that kind of. I mean, I could see that.
Well, you know, okay, China's authoritarian, right? So China, they have full control over their people.
Yeah.
And, you know, they know every move they make with their temperature, everything,
That's
right?
crazy.
And they've been the highlight, the place that people look to say, like, look, that during this whole pandemic, China has it under control because they have all the people in control.
Yeah.
And because they have that much control, they're able to get like defectors, people who want to like, no revolution will happen in China to, I don't think at all.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that the type of like tight grip they have on their people.
Yeah.
Now in America, they don't have that type of a tight grip.
No.
You know what I mean? So
Of course not.
when there's things like, for example, Google has gotten 1,500% more warrants for they do these things called geofence, you know, things where they figure out like, okay, if there's a crime that happened, let's say at Walmart, and that person had a cell phone on them, what they'll do is they'll do a geofence, they'll get a geofence warrant so they can find that person based on all the cell phones that were in that area, and they'll see what, like they'll ping them and see what was happening at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to commit a crime, just leave your cell phone in the car or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Or leave it at home.
Yeah, so they use a lot of that person on the phone, and you know they're trying to figure out the behavior, where they came in, and so they're trying to ping based on everyone that was there. So if there's 5 people in this house and then one person stole something and ran, they'll ping all 5 phones, but they'll use the 4 around it to kind of like get a geo map of where that person was, you know, and they get a lot of warrants, but they said these are like illegal warrants. Like you're not allowed to like be that invasive on people's privacy.
Right.
But see, that's part of like what they consider the control, right? Which is, you know, we know what our citizens are doing. We know when they're plotting. We know all these little type of things based outside of their freedom.
Yeah.
You know, because if there was going to be like some kind of like militia to take over the nation or anything like that, they want to know before it happens, and they want to nip it in the bud before. And cut it off. You see what I'm saying? So then when you have it where they talk about the whole COVID-19 is that if it's something where everyone has to cooperate within something, keeping people in their homes, or having it where with the not phones, like trackers and anything, and like you know, skip tracing to figure out who has COVID-19.
Yeah.
That's a way for them to know exactly what everyone's doing and what's going on. It's the same way of like, when we talk about something and it pops up on our phone, and you're like, how they know that we
exactly,
you know? So it's almost like if we say certain trigger words, they'll know what's going on here at our home. If things happen in another place, they know a crime's going. All these different type of invasive ways.
Well, it happens though, right? Like now, because like I was telling you a few days ago, one of my clients, he's a loan officer, and we were talking about like homes and mortgages and stuff like that, and then literally in the middle of our conversation, I got a text message from like a scammer or whatever, and it talks about like mortgages and how to get a lower like refinancing and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I show it to him. I'm like, how weird is this? Like, do you think that they're listening to our conversations? Because I ain't never got a text message like that before.
It happens to too many people for me to think that it's just a coincidence.
It can't be a coincidence. It can't.
Yeah. So if you say the word Toyota, then all of a sudden you're being advertised Toyota. Yeah. You like.
And that's the thing. We weren't talking on the phone. We were in person talking. And I just got a text message and I just happened to glance. I'm like, look at this. And I showed it to him. He was just like, oh my God. I'm like, see, I think they really are listening to our conversations.
Yeah. Same thing happened. And see, I don't know if this is like, you know, when there's companies that, you know, have like, okay, certain companies have like insider trading. They know somebody who knows somebody, or they know like the inner workings of a certain company, and they say, hey, buy the stock at this time, but that's illegal, right? Yeah. I feel like that same type of illegality is happening when it comes to people who, in essence, want to advertise and promote. So if you say, hey, promote with us, and there's like official ways to do it through like Facebook and pixels and following you around, and they know what you're searching for. And then there's like the dark web way of doing it, where they can listen in on your conversation and hack into your Alexa or your Siri to kind of figure out what you're saying to get even more like pointed advertising, you know?
That's so creepy.
Because last time I was mentioning to you about Lemonade, where you could get on that site and then you could like figure out how to do something with like your credit,
bills and stuff. Yeah.
And you were searching on it, right?
Yeah.
Then next you know, I'm being advertised on it on my phone.
See, they heard your conversation with me.
But I think it's a little bit different. I think they know that you're searching on your phone. They know that I'm near you. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, maybe it works like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they know I'm near you. And then they take it to where, oh, she's searching for it. Let's advertise it to him. Maybe he is interested in it. Just saying.
Still so weird though. Well, I mean, that could be the case.
I think at all in general, when it comes to like tracking, you really don't know what's going on.
You don't. Because even in like the group chat that I have with two of my girlfriends, let's say I screenshot something and I send it to them. Let's just say it's nail polish. And we're talking about nail polish. And then all of a sudden, one of the girlfriends, she's just like on Instagram scrolling. And then she gets all this advertisement for nail polish. It's like, how is she getting advertised when I'm the one who screenshot the picture and sent it to the group? You know, so I feel like they are like reading our texts and listening to our phone conversations, or even just eavesdropping in our home through our phones.
Yeah, another one, they're looking, I think it might be TikTok, whenever you do something like a clipboard or something like that, when you save something.
Okay.
They can figure out like what you have written in your clipboard.
What?
So if you copy paste something, you know, they figure out what you're copy and pasting. So if you copy and paste a certain word, they would know, oh, okay, they're interested in this word.
That's so creepy to me.
Yeah, there's so many different ways. Like, but then you think, like, because you always think, what's the end goal when it comes to like tracking and doing all that? And I think, you know, like, you know how you have buyers like at Gucci, and then some people come in who are like your number one buyers, like they buy.
Yeah,
you know, like it's just in their habit or in their income or whatever.
Right.
The same thing happens with like Amazon, Facebook, Google. There's some people who see advertisements and cannot resist. They buy.
Exactly.
You know, like. They say, oh, let me just go ahead and buy that and just buy that. And those are the people, those are the cows that you want to get to say, those are the buyers, you know? And there's like probably millions in this country who do it. And there is an advantage to like trying to find those like cash cows, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so that little conspiracy theory of trying to like take control of the people, they're saying that we keep stepping closer to losing our liberties as far as, which I don't believe in the whole mask thing and they're trying to take away our rights because they're making us wear a mask. Like, you could choose to believe what you like. I could choose to believe what I like. But you know, I definitely think that I don't think that people are trying to like encroach on on our rights. But who knows? You know, you just never know really what to believe sometimes.
You just have to I mean, you could believe it or just question everything.
I feel it's good to question everything.
I mean, you can, but
to a certain extent.
Yeah, about to say exactly.
Yeah, you can't be a paranoid person and just cannot trust anything.
And there's some people like that who are extremely paranoid.
Yeah,
but
there's another question I was gonna ask. It's like, this is a deep question. I don't know.
I like deep questions.
Yeah. So, could you be friends with someone that you don't respect?
No.
For real?
If I don't respect them, why would I be friends with them?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was someone that, let's say there's a group of friends that you have, right? And there's a particular person in that group that you just don't respect because of the way they move and do all that.
Yeah.
But they're within your group.
Yeah, I still couldn't. I mean, I could be in someone's presence, but I don't really mess with them like that. You know, it's a little quick exchanges as far as like words like, hey, what's up? But not like, I'm not chilling with you. I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not like trying to get to know you.
I have to make like bad decisions or some level of, you don't have to like not respect them because they're a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like they spend money badly and then you don't respect the way, it's some personal choice.
I mean, if it's personal, then if it doesn't affect me, then that's fine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
But you don't respect how they move.
Yeah. See, but I feel like that's where you kind of keep the friendship like at a minimum. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really respect what you do like in your household with your, you know what I mean? Like, if let's say somebody in my group, like the woman is the person who cheats on her husband all the time. Like, I don't respect that. So I can't really like hang out with you like that. But if you're like I don't know, if you are a gambler, I guess. I mean, that's kind of like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't really say, well, I can't be your friend because you're a gambler. And, you know, I could just kind of like, you know, kind of keep my distance a little bit, make sure, you know, I keep my purse on me so you ain't stealing money from me, you know, but I think it's just, it depends on the situation.
I always think it's a little bit different. Maybe I look at it a little bit different that when it comes to some people, like, where I personally don't like respect their moves.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't even know what you would consider a friend versus acquaintance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if they do something where you consider them a friend, but let's say they are disrespectful.
To who?
To anybody. Like their mom, their sister.
Oh, see,
you know.
I can't.
But there's somebody, you know what I mean, that, you know, has good qualities, but there's some bad qualities that you just do not respect. You know
but
what I mean?
if those bad qualities, if I have to see them and be around those bad qualities, even though it doesn't like affect me directly, I could not be cool with you. Like if you and not me are like vibing cool, but then I see you disrespect your mom all the time in front of me, I can't be cool with you like that.
Oh, so then it limits, it caps the way. So the character is important to like, the
big
friendship
time.
to you.
Yeah, you know, I can't. And it doesn't matter. We could be like the best of friends, but if I see you, you know, disrespecting your mom or your wife or whoever in front of me, and that's, you know, I don't even respect that. So I'm like, how can I be with somebody that I don't, you know, agree with what they're doing? Like if it directly affects me.
But if they're trying to be friends with you, then what do you do? Do you just are you like, you know, they want to hang out? You're like, nah, not today. Like, what do you do?
I don't know. You just kind of make excuses, a million excuses. Nah, I'm busy. No, I got to work. I got kids. I'm married. You just make a whole bunch of, you just got excuse after excuse until they get the hint. I mean, or you could just be upfront and be like, look, you know, I can't really hang out with you like that. You know, some things you do, I just don't agree with. I don't know how you boys talk, but I mean, for me, I'm just like, I'll just move around.
What do you think about when it comes to like cutting off family?
Oh, look, come on now.
No, I
cut off family, so I'm okay with that.
You could be okay with cutting off family.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know they talk about like toxic energy and things like that. If someone's toxic, even through your family, like still cut them off.
It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, if it doesn't matter to me, especially if you've had that conversation with that person and they still are disrespectful or they still just, I'm okay with cutting them off.
And you know, yeah, but you're built a little bit different.
I know, I am.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Thing.
Is your sister, your brother like that?
No, my brother is. Yeah. My brother, he'll cut a person off. My sister, she's more like she has to talk through it. She has to like, you know, she can't just move on. She can't just walk away from the situation. It's more like she needs to I guess heal from it. She needs to like get it off her chest and talk about it and then be okay and then move, you know, from it. Whereas me,
she needs closure.
Exactly. I don't need closure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could just and just walk away. That's my closure.
I'm trying to think how I'm built in that way because, you know, my brother, he could cut off in a second. My sister could cut off people in a second. I don't think it's that easy for me personally. Yeah. But I know that when it came to like past relationships, if there was an issue, I'm cutting it off.
Right.
You know, and I don't mind when it comes not talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Because again, even if I do take it personal, I still move on.
Right.
You know, because I feel like you have to understand that some things aren't forever.
Exactly.
And you have to, again, do what's best for yourself.
Yeah. But you know, when I cut people off, I'm open to a conversation with them. You know, just because I cut you off doesn't mean like if we're in the room together, I'm not gonna say hello. Like I'm gonna say hello. We could talk. We could do all that stuff. I'm just gonna move past whatever happened. If you want to talk about it, if you want to bring it up and address it, cool. I'm here. But I'm not gonna be the first person to talk about it because I don't need closure. Oh, yeah.
That's strength. That's a lot of strength.
Maybe. I don't know what that is. I'm just like, it's not even worth it to me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's again. Yeah. Is it worth it?
It's not even worth it to me. No. Oh. Yeah. So you can, if you do something to me and I cut it off and then you come to me, you apologize, I'm all for it. If you don't apologize and you still come to me, you want to chit chat and talk, I'm all for it too.
Yeah. And, you know, I was a little bit, you know, naive to some of that, you know, when it came to people that I knew like in college and people I knew in high school where like we didn't really get along like that in high school or college. Yeah. And then they end up becoming like your Facebook friend or your Instagram or whatever it is. And I would continue following and seeing this person and it just bothered the hell out of me. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, why? I don't like anything about this person, but yet we're friends. You know what I mean? And thinking one day you're like, you know, like just unfollow the person.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but I feel like we know each other. It's like, I mean, who cares?
Who cares? I don't think I follow anybody that I don't like or don't care for. I think honestly, everybody I follow is people that I'm, you know, cool with or, you know, cross paths with that I think are cool. But if I wasn't cool with you in high school or whatever, I do not follow you.
I think that's like a popularity thing then. You know what I mean? Where you want to
gotta be.
You want to like be popular. So therefore you care more about the numbers.
Right.
Than you do about the relationships. You see what I'm saying?
And I was never that person. I was good with one friend, my best friend till this day. Like that's all I needed. And my sister, you know, and I don't really care about nothing else. You know what I mean? As far as like growing up, you know, as far as like friends, I wasn't a big like, I have to have friends. I have to have a group or anything like that. You know, in college, I made great friends to this day. We call each other sisters. So I wouldn't even consider them as friends. But even if I was cool with you in college and you don't follow me on Instagram and I don't follow you on Instagram, there's no hard feelings, but I just don't, you know, I don't think to say, oh, well, let me follow this person because we were cool in college. I don't even think like that.
It reminds me of like how, like me and my brother, like, you know, there's time, well, he's never drank any like alcohol at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't drink alcohol like that and not even like smoking like that.
Yeah.
But even when that was happening, like in high school, really heavy, it's almost like you're above like the influence.
Yeah.
Where you look at what people are doing that are like trendy and do it just, you know, for self-esteem issues. And you don't look at that as a thing at all.
No, I never did. Like, I mean, I feel like we talked about this on the podcast before, maybe, but like people would skip school and go to like these parties and stuff. And I just was like, I'm not doing that. Like I went to class every day. You know, I was just like, I mean, call me lame, but I just didn't feel like, I just didn't.
I just love following rules.
Yeah, I just felt like, you know, no, to me, I just felt like what they were doing, like in their mind, okay, we're going to skip class and go to a party. We're going to drink. They thought that was cool, where I was like, that's dumb. I didn't want to do that. You know, I didn't want to go to no random friend's house, drink their parents' alcohol, and just be drunk and do what?
We never even saw anything like that.
Yeah, I was like, I've heard it all the time. Even like senior skip day, I went to school. Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, for what? I'm not even cool with y'all. Why would I hang out with y'all outside of school when I don't even hang out with y'all in school?
So did that make people want to be even like closer to you because you didn't care as much?
I don't think so. I think maybe more in college. Yeah. I always felt like I kind of like did my own thing, and I felt like people kind of gravitated towards me because of that I just didn't care attitude about like, you know, having friends or being trendy or being popular. Like I just didn't, that was never me, you know. In high school, I was cool with everybody, but I didn't really have friends. So it was like that maybe like all 4 years. And I offend anybody who thinks that they were my friend in high school. We were friends, but it wasn't like they were kicking it at my house outside. You know, it was like you got your school friends and you got your neighborhood friends, you know, and they really never crossed paths, you know, like that's just kind of how it was with me growing up.
And the closer friends to you were the neighborhood friends.
They were my neighborhood friends.
The school friends was just like
school friends.
Yeah.
It was just school friends. Like I saw you at school. We cut up when we were at school.
So once you graduate, you're like, peace out.
That's literally how it was. It was when we graduated. It was just like, all right, bye.
So you never you never had an obligation to like keep your school friends?
No.
You never felt that? I felt that.
You did?
Yeah, like I felt it like, you know, the people that I had a real like tight friendship with in high school, that I felt obligated to keep those friendships.
I know. I did. See, I was, like I said, I was cool with everybody, but literally after we graduated, that was it. Like unless we went to college together, because I went to UNO for 1 year. So if you happened to be there, then we were still cool. But after that, no, it was like I pretty much moved on. I mean, it does sound sad, but I never really had like that best friend bond with someone in high school. I just didn't. It was just like I was just cool with everybody. Like I wasn't popular and I wasn't, I guess, lame. I don't know what you want to call it. I was just kind of in the middle. I was always like floating in the middle. I would hang out with everybody. Like I would sit at the cafeteria table literally anywhere, because I never had like a group of friends that I sat with all the time. I would just pick a spot. Yeah, if there was an empty spot, I'll just go sit there.
I would actually be a little bit annoyed about, when it came to for lunchtime, there'll be the table where like all the football players are. Yeah. But there's also the table where like track and then there's also a table for like band.
Yeah.
So then I'm always feeling like, man, like
which popular group do I go sit with?
Yeah. No, like which group do I go with today?
Yeah.
And that was where like the anxiety came in, where you're like, let me just go to this one, because if you go to the football table, it's rowdy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a bunch of like energy going on over there, and they're usually making fun of the band table. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then if I'm like at the band table, like, why are you over there? Da, 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 da. And it's like, this is crazy.
See, it wasn't like that at my school. It wasn't. It wasn't like separate. I mean, you had like your cheerleaders table, you had the football table, and you may have had your band table. I'm not sure. And you know what? It could have been separated like that. It could have been nerds and cheerleaders, but I didn't see that. I honestly didn't see it. I mean, obviously you'll see the cheerleaders because they're in uniform, or the football players because they just came from practice or something like that. But as far as it being like the nerds versus the popular people, I honestly didn't see it. No, I really didn't. Like, I just felt like I was just in the middle because I was so cool with everybody. It was just like, I'm gonna just sit wherever, If I'm like, who's anybody sitting here? Like, no, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna sit here.
Could you sit by yourself with no problem?
Oh yeah, I did that all the time for breakfast, because it was like nobody ate breakfast unless you like play sports.
Yeah.
So I would just go up there, eat breakfast. Sometimes I'll just sit in the hallway by myself. I'll go outside when everybody's like outside just talking and stuff. I'll just be over there by myself. And then somebody come up to me like, hey, come hang out with us. I'm like, cool. Like, I never cared.
Did that make you like a loner? Was that like in that category?
No, I don't think I was. I mean, you could call me a loner.
What's a loner compared to what you're talking about?
But see, I wouldn't consider myself a loner because, like I said, I was cool. I was friends with everybody. So, but I am the type of person who don't mind being by myself either. So I feel like a loner is someone. I feel
like a very introvert, where they stand alone and they're in the corner and shy.
Yes,
and
I feel like that's a loner. Whereas me, I'm an extrovert. But if I felt like being by myself, I would. And it's not like I'm too afraid to go and talk to the groups of people. I just felt like chilling by myself, and people like, hey, come over here. I'm like, all right, cool. And I just go over there.
All they gotta do is play a little bounce music.
I know, and I'm just like, just bouncing from every corner. Like,
man, tell me if this is true too. The most dangerous person you could be around is someone who wants you to be anybody other than yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's true.
You feel like this?
Yeah.
You feel like that happens with relationships a lot?
Yeah, I feel like it does. I wouldn't say that person. Okay, yeah, I agree. Sorry.
You do?
Yeah, it does. Because if you date somebody who has different expectations of you, it could be very damaging.
Yeah.
Like I know someone who, dated a guy and she loved this guy. And, I would think that he loved her too, but he was not in love with her physical appearance. So she altered it. She got surgery and they're no longer together, and it did create a lot of insecurities, so.
And those insecurities stick.
They stick because it carries with her throughout all her relationships. So it's like she has to learn how to love herself, but she did all these things to make him happy, and he ended up leaving her. So yeah, I feel like,
that's hard right there, because, when you really, really want something, or you really like attracted to it, and you feel like it's love, right?
Yeah.
And then that person wants you to be something different, and you feel like, let me just conform to make that person happy, because that's like being a people pleaser almost. Yeah. And then you do that, not understanding the damage it's gonna have later on.
But I feel like you have to be a strong person too, because I actually dated you don't know this. I actually dated someone after college, and I cut my hair. I had just chopped my hair off. But when I met him, when we were friends, my hair was long. And so when I chopped it off, I didn't, obviously I don't even think I talked to anybody about it. I just went and did it. And so when he saw it, he was just like, oh, you should grow your hair out. I only date girls with long hair. I was like,
whoa.
Yeah. I peaced out.
Like you didn't qualify anymore.
I didn't qualify. Yeah. So I just kind of walked away from it. I was just like, well, I mean, if that's what you like, then that's your personal preference, but I'm not about to do nothing for you. So I feel like you just have to like have that confidence in yourself and not have anybody else control who you are.
Yeah, so important, because that's the same thing. Again, someone I dated in the past.
Look at us.
I told you about this one.
Okay.
So you know about this, where like we're driving in a car, and then she's like screaming at me saying, we've been dating for, I think it was like 6 months. When are we gonna go to Vegas?
Oh Lord, I remember this.
Yeah, I was like, Vegas. He's like, I'm in the car. I'm like, who you talking about Vegas? Why Vegas? She's like,
all couples go to Vegas.
Yeah. Because all couples go to Vegas. You know that. I'm like, what? Who told you that all couples go to Vegas? Like, Michael, that's what couples do. That's what couples do. They go to Vegas. I was like,
she was crazy.
So I said, but why Vegas? And she's like, and she like pulled off the road, like drove off the road to, like the,
yeah.
And then she's like, Michael. And then like, she's trying to break it down. I was like, I'm like, whoa, this girl is crazy.
You felt like you was going to die that day.
Yeah. And I was just like, I tried to tell my parents. I was like, look, this woman is trying to talk about that. Like, we need to go to Vegas. And they're like,
yeah.
Well, you need to go to Vegas. I said, what? Lord. My parents are always against me. I was like, man. I was like, hold on. Y'all think I need to go to Vegas? Like, well, if that makes her happy. I'm like, no.
Oh, my goodness.
No. I said, she been watching too much TV.
I don't know romantic movies.
Yeah, I don't know where she saw this to say, and why Vegas specifically? I'm like, why not Cali?
I know.
You know what I mean? Why not Mexico? She said Vegas. I was like,
so weird.
To do what? To gamble? Why did you say that? Like you're literally driving. She's like, you know what? When are you going to Vegas?
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
That's so weird.
Yeah. So like she will have temper tantrums if I don't conform.
Yeah.
And it's some things where you're like, why are you taking it so personally? Like, why don't we talk about something, versus it being, your way or the highway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of, when someone wants you to conform like that, that's dangerous territory.
Yeah, and it's crazy you say that because it just reminded me that the same guy, and I should have caught it early on, because when we first started dating, he did say something like, yeah, I usually date girls who are like thick, who got like thick thighs, who run track and stuff like that. So you're a little different from me.
You see that?
I was just, and I didn't know how to take it at first. I was just like, so am I like an exception? Like, does that make me special, or does that, like, what does that mean? Like, you just kind of
like you're doing you a favor.
Doing me a favor. And when he said that, I did feel some type of way, and I feel like we did kind of like, I kind of went off on him about it, because I was just like, well, we ain't got a date. Yeah. If I'm not your type, don't make me your type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I think like a month or two later, that's when the haircut comment was made. And I was just like, all right, yeah, see, I'm done.
You see that, you see that where they had those memes where it said, like, women, if you cut your hair, do you have to get permission or consult?
Yeah, especially at that time, I wasn't dating anybody. So I don't think, I feel like if you want to do it, do it. Now, if, when we're married, so, and I'm always talking about cut my hair off. And he, you're like, well, I like it either way. But then you always remind me, Bly, you love when your hair is short, but then a month later you complain about it. So it's always like, I like to bring it up to you so you could kind of remind me how much of a, baby I am when my hair is short.
But I feel like that's like quality communication. You know what I mean?
Of course.
If I was going to like just cut off my entire beard, I'm not going to just surprise, I'm going to be like, I think I'm cutting this, and you'll be like, yeah, no, I like it because of this.
That's
like,
true.
You know what?
That's true.
I like it,
But if you did it, that's different. If a man cut their hair off and a woman came home and you surprised us, I'm like, it's going to grow back in 2 weeks. A woman, if we cut our hair, that you looking at about a year to 2 years, you know what I mean, before it grows back out. So I feel like it is, we're not asking for like approval. We're just kind of running it by you like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think? What are your thoughts? You know what I mean?
But don't you feel like that means when a girl cuts her hair, especially for a woman, when they cut their hair, something's happening?
Well, for me, my thing, so I cut my hair when I graduated 8th grade. And my hair was long, like down to my back. I cut it into a bob. And then when I graduated high school, I did the exact same thing. I cut it. It was long down my back. And then I cut it into a shorter bob. And then college, right before I graduated, I chopped it off.
So what is this? What is it?
So I think it's just like for me, it was more like, okay, I'm going into like a new stage of my life. I want to like reinvent myself. I think that's what it was for me. Every time it was like a major change in my life, I'm, middle school, high school, college, it was like, okay, I want to look a little different, look a little more, mature. And so that was the only really, the times that I did like huge transformations to myself.
Does cutting your hair, like, is it kind of leaving all that dead?
Oh yeah.
That's like your past.
The past, exactly. Yeah. You're just a brand new person. And then in college, when I cut my hair off, it's funny because, people used to say, oh, you kind of look like Rihanna. And this was before, my hair was chopped off. And then when I chopped it off, that's when people were saying it all the time. But for me, it was like, when your hair is that short, you just feel so sexy and powerful, and you just feel like you could do anything. I don't know what it is
it's
about
like
short hair. Yeah, because not too many people have it. You know, not everybody can pull it off. So it was just like a powerful thing, you know.
But you know, I think the less hair a woman has, the more intimidating she is.
And that's true too, because I was kind of very intimidating.
Yeah, you know the girl in that Real Housewives.
Which one?
No, not Real Housewives. The Married to Medicine.
The girl the bald head one, Imani.
Yeah, I feel like she has the most powerful, intimidating look.
She does. I mean, she just looks very strong and intimidating. Like when she's, first of all, she's tall.
Yeah,
you know, and she's like very muscular. She's very fit, and then she has this like clean, shiny, bald head.
Yeah, and she's a beautiful person.
She is extremely beautiful. She's one of my favorite people on there. But she's just very like, just. You never see her crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's just
it's very powerful.
Yeah,
you know?
very. And you know, my aunt, growing up, my Auntie Roxanne, she passed away when I was in middle school, or maybe middle school. And she always had short hair, and I always looked up to her. She was real tall. She used to model, and so whenever she would have like her short curly hair, I'm like, oh, I love that. I can't wait to do that. And then when I finally did it, I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get why she kept her hair that short all those years, because you just feel like a boss. You know, walking through the room, you just feel different. You know, your style changes, your attitude changes. It's just like, I don't know, something about it. See, now I want to go cut my hair.
We changed this whole thing. So I have a pretty interesting word.
Tell me.
Well, this one you probably know about. So fiduciary.
Wait, I feel like I heard that before.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Fiduciary.
Fiduciary.
Yeah, fiduciary is a person who has the power, I guess, entrusted in them to do something that benefits you. So here's how it works.
Yeah, example.
So if you're going into like a financial advisor, you want to go to one that's a fiduciary, because they're going to sell you a plan that works for you, not that works for them because they're trying to sell it to you. Like they have a legal obligation to do what benefits you.
Okay.
Not what benefits the company.
Right.
Yeah, same thing with like a legal. So if you go to like a legal fiduciary, you say, what should I do? They're not going to tell you what's the best plan. Or if you go to like a healthcare.
I'm about to say, like a psychiatrist or something like that. Okay.
And, they might be able to like to push a pill or push a prescription or whatever it might be. But a fiduciary means they're legally obligated to do what's best for you, not what's best for the company that they're representing.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, fiduciary. So like... Okay. It's always important to like find that fiduciary that you have, whether it be whether your finances or legal or healthcare, like a real person who you trust, and not only based on just your personal trusting, like they're legally obligated to make sure that they do what's best for you.
I like
so a fiduciary.
Okay. Fiduciary.
Yeah, I like it's a good word.
I know,
right?
it's juicy.
Yeah.
But you already know my favorite one.
Which one?
What is it? I can't even think of
loquacious.
it. Yeah, loquacious.
Loquacious is good.
I'm about to say Ladarius. Loquacious.
I had one of my best employees ever was named Ladarius.
Really? Was he loquacious?
No, he wasn't. He's super quiet.
That's probably why.
Yeah, when I say he was good, look, he'll walk up there like he's too cool for like the whole team.
Yeah.
His cousin was named Larry. He was my employee too. And, he's like, hey, want to bring my cousin Ladarius? I'm like, all right. And he come in, he kind of sagging, pigeon-toe a little bit. It's like, hey, what's up, Mike? What's up? Doing all this. I'm like, look, you need to get together. But then when he does a car, I'm talking about so fast.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And I'm like, that's why he acts like that. I'm like,
yeah, because he does.
Like he's that good at what he does. And I'm just like, you put him on a car, he says, okay, what she want? I was like, she wants to get the $100 one, right? And then I was like, all right, cool. 30 minutes later, it's like, I was like, there's no way.
So where he at?
Oh, I don't know where he's at now.
Man, if you're listening, look, we hiring.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
we need you.
He would disappear every now and then, though.
Oh, we don't need you.
Yeah.
We need somebody reliable.
His cousin, Larry, he would disappear too. Wow. And they'll go back and forth.
Yeah,
and they'll just give a random call one year, and it's like, oh, come through, and then I'll get him for like 3 weeks, and then he's like, so, and I want to like nurture him and make him that, but he just didn't have it together like that. But
gotcha.
He was awesome. But how was that? That was good.
It's always good. We could talk for hours, y'all, but we really got to go pick up these kids.
Yeah, what are we looking at on time to get these? Oh, we
got to get them
right
in 10 minutes before the school closes, or they're going to start charging us $1 per minute.
That's true. That was after 6:15. I'll wait until then.
Oh.
Okay, see y'all later. Peace out.
Bye.
And if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space.